know what's going on. We need to understand what's happening in this world, and we need to know what's going on behind closed walls or doors or whatever they're closed. So the next thing is this bailout. I think we have to do it. I think we have to understand that something that's a necessary necessity of necessity-ness or something.
Well, you're the decider. Have you heard that some people think 9/11's an inside job, that you did it, Mr. President?
Well, I've heard that. I think that's Charles, what do you think that is? I think that's a bunch of knuckleheads. Even Charles Barkley thinks that's crazy. But if people can think what they want to think, I'm willing to. I'm willing to be hated to protect this country.
Where were the WMDs, Mr. President?
Well, they're invisible. That's what we found out. They're invisible. They're under a scary thing called the cloak of invisibility. They're there. You just can't see them. Like a Scooby-Doo episode.
Mr. President, this Frank Caliendo, he's able to really mimic your mannerisms and your speech patterns and your tone. He's starting another big TV show tonight. Are you going to be tuning into that, and can you tell us what time it's on?
I believe it's 11 o'clock Eastern, 10 o'clock Central, Frank TV on CBS, unless, of course, I got some bad misinformation. That's happened before, but I think it's going to be pretty good. This Caliendo fella can jokificate with the best of them. Got two new guys, a guy who's actually from Austin, Texas, lived in Houston for a while, Mike McRae, and then there's Freddie Lockhart, who does a great job from Phoenix, Arizona. And these guys, they're like a troop of troopers, or troop of troopers. Not like Koopa Troopers, which are from Super Mario Brothers.
Hold on just a second, Mr. President. We've only got a few minutes left with you, and we're coming back to a couple stations. Here we go.
Command Center, deep behind enemy lines, the information war continues. It's Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've only got him for a few minutes. President George W. Bush is here. He's very upset about Frank TV and Frank Caliendo imitating him. Mr. President, is this identity theft to have Frank Caliendo being able to impersonate you to a T, sir?
Well, I hadn't thought of it that way, but I'm glad you brought it up. I think he's okay. I think he's all right. He says silly things, and I don't really say silly things, so I think people will know what the difference is.
But you're the decider. Should he be allowed to imitate you?
I'm the decider, and these are the Decider House rules. That's what this is about, Alex. AJ, if you will. I think everything's going to be fine. I think I'll lay low on this one and ride it out. I'm getting pretty tired of this running the earth stuff.
Do you think you're going to go down in history as the greatest president ever? Because you said in a press conference that in history we'll all be dead. Or are you just not worried about it?
Well, I think I've done a good job. I think I tried my best. I think there's a lot of evildoers out there trying to get us, and I think we stopped them.
Well, in closing, Mr. President, can you put Frank Caliendo back on the line? Because I heard he was at the White House with you today, trying to learn how to be a great leader.
Yeah, let me put him on. He took a nap here. Hold on. Hey, how are you?
Hey, Frank, why are you hanging around with President Bush?
I just thought it would be cool. I mean, I met Karl Rove a couple of weeks ago. He introduced me to him. It was great.
I mean, is it true that you've been basically been hired on the side to do basically fake phone calls to foreign leaders when President Bush is taking his 3-hour naps?
No, that's not true, but thank you for starting the rumor.
Hey, to be serious, people on the Internet, just from those calls you made to my answer machine with Mancow, they really think George Bush called me, and now they think I'm in league with him.
That's your audience.
No, that's my audience knows it's Frank Caliendo. It's people on YouTube.
You got to be careful of being too truthful to your own audience, Alex.
All right, Frank Caliendo again. Tell us about the new TV show tonight.
Frank TV on at 11 o'clock Eastern, 10 o'clock Central. We start out with it seems, W came out this weekend. By the way, on my website, if you want to take a look, there's frankcaliendo.com. Josh Brolin and Oliver Stone talking about watching me to learn how to do the W for the W movie.
I saw that film. Brolin does an uncanny George Bush.
Yeah, and apparently he watched me for some of it to learn how to do it. So It's great that these guys know who I am. I thought that was pretty cool.
FrankCaliendo.com, TBS nationwide tonight, but showing in different time zones. The final question here is, what is we're saying your favorite one is Charles Barkley. How did you get into imitating people?
I just always had a little bit of a knack for it as a kid. Growing up my entire life, I would do impressions of friends and stuff, watching Living Color, Saturday Night Live, and do those impressions. And I figured out, I went to school for broadcast journalism and thought, hey, why not take a chance at this? I didn't really like interviewing people, so I didn't want to be a newscaster or anything like that. So I thought, hey, try this, and it worked out.
Did you know who I was whenever Mancow got you to call my home answering machine?
No, I did not at the time.
Okay, and you probably still don't, do you?
I'm still learning.
Okay, well, I'm actually the real George Bush, and that's just a clone they have up there in Washington. Hey, Frank Caliendo, thanks for the time, and I hope to get you back up on the show.
Hey, appreciate it. Thanks very much.
Take care. There he goes, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, that's what I figured, Mancow. I just told him to call up and say, hey, Mr. Jones, and that was amazing. And then he called in a second time. I should have saved that and put that on the air as well. When we put it on air, we told people that it was obviously somebody prank calling me, and I predicted it was Frank Caliendo. I'd only seen him a few times on TV do the imitation, but it sounded like Frank Caliendo doing George Bush, and it turned out I was correct. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Mystery completely solved. It was Frank Caliendo and Mancow that were doing that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have now spent about 12 minutes screwing around here on the show today. If people just tuned in and are wondering what I'm talking about the George Bush calls Alex Jones clip, that's what it's called on the web, I will play that for you one more time and get into all the serious news. Here it is.
Mr. Jones, this is George Bush, the President of the United States, and I've heard many things that you have, been saying on the internet and other various, mediums that are out there. I understand you have problems with, the government, and you believe in many, conspiracies. But I believe that we can work this out. If you will, take my phone call, we can speak about this stuff. We will work this out. It's diplomacy. Diplomatic diplomacy is the way to go. And if the two of us can work this out, and I think we can, we'll definitely have it worked out then. All right. Well, we'll try it back. If you need to keep doing what you're doing, do it. But okay.
I said yesterday at the start of the show I was going to do a review of W, and since Frank Caliendo brought up the new Oliver Stone film, I'm going to go ahead and spend the rest of this segment critiquing W, and then I hope that one of my writers will take the points I make and put a little blurb up on the site with my review of it. I think it's a horrible whitewash and a rehabilitation of George W. Bush and his father, George Herbert Walker Bush. It makes George Herbert Walker Bush look like some type of humanitarian angel who was a great intellectual and did a great job in the first Gulf War and a wonderful humanitarian. It frames George W. Bush as a moron hillbilly Texan at the front, but who was lovable, kind of an idiot savant genius with campaigns, the real genius with Karl Rove, teaching him more than Rove taught him, teaching his father when he ran in '88 how to win. Just absolutely disgusting on that front. The WMDs in Iraq, it was all a mistake. They really believed that the WMDs were there. They're all very upset and depressed that they were wrong when it's come out that they premeditatedly said fix the intelligence, lie about it in the White House memo and the Downing Street memo. George Bush thought they were there. He is a holy rolling Christian, energized by a TV preacher in Texas, a backwoodsy type. He has a born-again conversion, which has been closely looked at and is not true. George Bush, of course, is a member of Skull and Bones, Bohemian Grove, constantly partying, stumbling drunk off Air Force One, helicopter, Marine One, and Air Force One, the jet, routinely